And we have only one gastroenterologist who's working only in the state, in private, sorry. So in the state system, there is no gastroenterologist. Most of the advanced endoscopy is done by surgeons. I'm a general surgeon, and we are doing advanced gastroenterology as well. Our current needs is to have a standardized type of practice, and I'm very much admiring what Dr. Wafa did about a diploma in EUS or a diploma in gastroenterology, a school of gastroenterology, where we can have some diplomas or some degrees which will be having a standard practice. We are pointing fingers between gastroenterologists who are having limited numbers, cannot supply enough needs, and general surgeons, because the general surgeons are not doing the classic type of education in their degree and so on. We don't have one unit of EOS in the whole Namibia, in spite of the fact that we have a good system of medical practices. So a surgeon who is able to do Whipple operation is not able to have an access to EOS because we don't have one unit there. Advanced ERCP is done by only 2 colleagues in the whole country, and it is diverse space-wise. So I think we need to have sort of like dispersed centers where the basic needs can be decentralized, the basic endoscopy need can be decentralized, while the advanced type of service can be having more than one center with some standardized delivery system. As I said, some of the countries in this area, like Namibia and maybe some other countries, can be a hub to try to balance the differences between very high specialized centers in South Africa and the other needy places which are not receiving services. We need to have some advanced technical support of some teams which can visit and train people who can easily establish to be trainers for future. And collaboration for simulators from the industry to have some training simulators, which can help quite a lot. And finally, sharing curricula, like what Morocco did and so on. I think there is a very good advantage if we are sharing what we have instead of inventing the wheel, that every country will start to develop its own diplomas and programs. Thank you very much.
Right. Thank you very much. Ayo Makonjola. I'm from Lagos, Nigeria. I trained as a general surgeon, and I work in both an academic center and a small private practice. I will just give a bit of my own personal journey. I did my residency in one of the big teaching hospitals in Lagos. And during that residency, I was exposed to both upper and lower gastrointestinal endoscopies. We also did some training with variceal banding, polypectomies, and other basic therapeutics in endoscopy. We did try to start ERCP in the government practice, and a proposal was generated for that. And that was about 4 to 5 years ago now, but that proposal didn't materialize. I eventually got tired of waiting and approached Fujifilm to try to see if I could set up something that I could use for myself. Unfortunately, when the quotation came in, the capital outlay was quite high. So I did have to dip into the used market to get the equipment that I needed. So I was able to get a walk-in tower from the US, and I was able to get a duodenoscope from the UK, which I put together. And then it now became a problem with training. Fortunately, I was able to reach a colleague, a much senior colleague who was based in the US, who came to Lagos, Nigeria, and was with us for about 3 or 4 days, over which we did 6 cases of ERCPs. And this year, I've been able to carry out about 15 cases by myself on ERCP. And the next steps is to develop similar practices for EUS and then see how it leads. Now, the problems we generally have is that it's similar to what everybody has said. If equipment breaks down, they are very difficult to find somewhere to be able to repair them. And in many cases, that can put a damper on the service, and you have to wait several months to even years sometimes to get equipment fixed. The other problem is that there are times when it's very difficult to predict the accessories you're going to need before a case starts, and the inability to have a large spectrum of accessories you can choose from is also a problem. So there are times in which you need a long stent and you reach out to industry partners. I need maybe 12 centimeter long plastic stent, and it's not available, and they're telling you, oh, they will have to import it. It will get into the country in maybe 4 weeks' time. The patient can't wait. And in such a case, if there's a surgical option, then the patient gets a surgical option. So that those have been the recurring problem. I do believe that for our context in Africa, having proctorship seems to be the best approach to train. So if you have the facilities within your environment, and faculty that is already competent comes in and work with you over a period with a significant number of patients, then you can develop the skills and develop them quickly. Sometimes when we go to areas where these things are performed regularly, you go there, you are exposed, and by the time you come back to your center, you realize that the things you have doesn't match what you saw where you were, and it's difficult to translate. But if the very competent faculty come to your center, they can help you adapt to what you have so that you can make do with what you have, and then you can make progress. Thank you.
Okay, this is the same. Yani, this is a group of the country like Nigeria. They said they need training on their side because they have some experts, some instrument, but they need a team to come. So there's 2 jobs now. Found the people come and some people come to us. So I know that very well from Nigeria, Ethiopia. Okay, please, next.
Thank you very much, Professor. I'm called Dr. Francis Basimbe. I'm from Kampala, Uganda. And thank you, Professor Mustafa and Professor Ibrahim. I was there in Uganda when you came to give the first talk on upper GI endoscopy in one of the hotels, and you've been supporting.
Since how many years?
It's been, I think, about 15 years, I think now. Yes. So a bit of a background, and this will form to what I'm going to talk about. In Uganda currently, we have about 28 different centers that are equipped to do endoscopy. Of course, many of them are functional, half they are, the other half they are breakdowns. But the important statistic is that 80% of these are within the capital, which serves about 5 million population. The majority of the population, which is a total of about 45 million, 80% of them have no access to these services. So that is a big disparity. Now I'm going to go straight to what we have done briefly as a country, and then that will lead into probably where the help that we may need to do. One of the things that we've done is to try and domesticate training, especially right from the basic endoscopy, gastroscopy, colonoscopy, all the way. And I think during the GEM training, we were able to train some of our colleagues in basic colonoscopy using the model that we have there, and Professor Mustafa was there with us. So that has formed the basis of us domesticating training. Now, the way we have approached it is that we've ensured that this training is regional, such that we can work with Abdulaziz from Kenya and all the other places around. So we have partnered with our college to make sure that we have a regional training. The college has about 12 countries, and we want to be able to handle that as a region. And so coming to where we actually need support, we want definitely with training, we know that Roya, Fujifilm have a lot of expertise. There's a Fujifilm Academy that has expertise in training. And this is both physical training but also virtual training, because for most of the things, even some of them, COVID gave us a lesson to learn. You can do a lot of things even virtually to make sure that people have a lot of information. So we'd want a lot of support in training, but there is also something that has come up, which is training people how to train, because many times we are able to do some of these procedures, but then we even don't know how to train others how to do it. And that is extremely important, to know how to train someone else. And I think that is a way to be able to expand this further. The other aspect, and my colleagues probably will elaborate on this from Uganda, is especially the advanced endoscopy training. So the ones locally within the country, ERCP, ESD, we've had several attempts to start some of these in the country, and there are many, many challenges. So we'll definitely need support on that. Thank you very much.
The next one, yes. So we know that one that have the same, like Nigeria, which we start with them basics, but they need what I called in my slides mobile training centers, which can move under cover of future. Okay.
Assalamu alaikum. I want to change the language. I speak by Arabic. Yeah,
Where?
I speak by Arabic.
No. منين حضرتك؟
In Chad.
Chad. Very good.
Yeah. Okay. أنا اسمي عبد الرحمن كوسو من شاد. البوبوليشن بتاعنا عدده 18 مليون نسمة. أنا أصلاً أوريد عملت زمالة جاسترونترولوجي هنا في إيجيبت في 2021، وبعده ذهبت إلى منجمينا وشغال في منجمينا في مستشفى حكومي. مستشفى حكومي عندنا زي 6 أخصائيين بتاع جاسترونترولوجي، كلهم كده هنا about 11 فيزيشن بتاع جاسترونترولوجي في منجمينا في تشاد كلها.
He's from Chad, and he was trained here in Egypt, and then there are only 18 millions from Chad, and only 11 doctors can do gastroenterology. Okay.
كل ال 11 موجودين في العاصمة واحدة، لكن في الولايات ما عندنا ولا جاسترونترولوجيست في
All
الولايات.
of them in the capital only.
Yeah. تقدر تقول الناس اللي يستفيدوا من خدمات الجاسترونترولوجي في العاصمة كلها زي 3 مليون نسمة. أما ال 15 مليون نسمة كلهم يا جو في العاصمة يا أساسا ما لقوا فاسيليتي.
3 million in the capital, the rest not in the capital. Okay.
Yeah.
What you need? What you need?
احنا محتاجين انه يعني كل الفاسيلتي احنا هنعمله في الاندوسكوبيك يونت، بنعمل بس diagnostic and just simple therapeutic like ligation, band ligation just.
All what they do is upper endoscopy, colonoscopy, and
Yeah.
band ligations.
Yeah.
Only in Chad, and 18 millions people.
Yeah. احنا محتاجين انه تدريب يعني للكوادر الموجوده في الجاسترونترولوجيست. just يعني.
So what they need in Chad, more training, because they have only 11 and they only do upper endoscopy, banding, and the colonoscopy.
Yes.
And this is a huge country, which is very near to us also. I try to do that as I can, they show that, but still, okay. Next one, okay.
I'm Dr. Abdelmonem Taif from Sudan. I thank my mentor, Professor Mustafa, and my brother and friend Ibrahim Mustafa. And thanks Fuji really for existing, the only company existing in Sudan from the big companies on the time of war. So they are existing and providing still service and help in Sudan. So I'm very happy that Salim touched most of the important problem and challenges in maintaining service, endoscopy service in Africa. And happy that Fuji now moving to like backup policy in Africa, and I think this is one of the problem. We need to establish this backup policy in Africa and service contract policy, which is the main problem, I think, in Africa. As Professor Mustafa said, you go to African countries, you will find this broken, go to other companies, so we need just this backup policy. In Sudan, you know that the war now in Sudan since 2 years and 8 months. Mass displacement, all doctors, most of the experts went outside. The gastroenterology well established in Sudan, but we faced with the condition that even there was no ERCP services, and we established it in one center, and we have rush of 80 ERCP per month, and this was a great opportunity for training. For 2 years and 8 months, we did more than 1,200 ERCP and managed to train 4 doctors now independently doing ERCP. We have 2 centers now doing ERCP, heading to the third, training the 5th doctor despite of the war. Of course, as my Professor Mustafa is my mentor, and I like him, like to spread the knowledge and training in Africa, and I have the ERCP proposal for training in Africa. I started to go to Ethiopia and did many training courses there. Also in Uganda, Okelo is trained with me in the ERCP and started the services there. And despite the war, when managed to train 4 doctors, went outside, and I went to Tanzania and Rwanda in this year, and did courses in Tanzania and Rwanda despite war, one from Sudan, with my own model in Tanzania created by myself. Of course, not fancy like these models, but they can do the job. And hope we will manage together with Professor Mustafa with Ruya. Of course, in Tanzania, we went with support of Ruya, training models. Professor Mustafa sent me the training models in Tanzania, and they did great job. Really thank for them.
What's needed in Sudan? What the Sudan need now?
We need more support
from Fuji.
From Fuji as existing company, because there is a problem. The cost of services is very high still. Repair service is very high, really. And also, there is a problem of delivery time. Now we have tender. Fuji about to lose this tender because the delivery time is 90 days. And this really is a problem, really.
Okay. Next one. Thank you, Abmene, for what you did.
Bonsoir, bonsoir à tous. Nous profitons de cette occasion pour remercier le professeur Ibrahim Mustafa pour l'opportunité qu'il nous donne de nous former. Donc cette formation post-universitaire est très importante pour nous tous, jeunes Africains, jeunes gastro-entérologues africains. Moi, je suis sénégalaise, c'est ma deuxième fois en Égypte. J'étais déjà venue en 2023 et comme l'a dit tout à l'heure notre collègue, on est un pays d'environ 18 millions d'habitants avec environ 50 gastro-entérologues dont la plupart ne font que l'endoscopie diagnostique. L'endoscopie thérapeutique n'est, je dirais, toujours pas accessible. Il y a 3 gastro-entérologues qui sont en formation via la chaîne de l'espoir avec la mission Sen-Endo qui est portée par Fiji. Donc, ils sont toujours en formation.
Je vais faire la translation. So she's saying that she's from Senegal, of a country of 18 million people, and they have only 50 diagnostic endoscopists. There is no one doing therapeutic endoscopist. Only 3 doctors now started to do therapeutic endoscopy, and this is the biggest need that they have.
Je voulais juste partager une petite expérience.
Ouais.
Mon passage en 2023 m'a donné le courage de commencer l'endoscopie niveau 2. Dans mon hôpital, on a un service de gastro-entérologie d'environ une vingtaine de lits. On ne faisait que l'endoscopie diagnostique chez les malades qui n'étaient pas sédatés. Okay. Après mon passage de 2023, professeur Ibrahim, il nous disait, l'essentiel c'est de commencer. Okay. Il faut commencer. Donc, j'ai ouvert une vacation d'endoscopie thérapeutique. Je fais maintenant au bloc les polypectomies, les dilatations, les ligatures.
Ça, c'est bien.
Parfois, quand je suis bloquée, j'essaie de faire venir un des 3 gastro-entérologues qui sont en formation pour m'aider dans les dilatations complexes. Au moins, je me dis que j'avance un peu dans ma pratique et ça, c'est grâce à vous.
Okay, so this
Merci.
is very good. So I will translate this also. What she said that she first time here, she was here in 2023, where she had her first therapeutic endoscopy course, and then after Professor Mustafa advised that she should go back and start, even if she's only just starting, she started. She have the courage and started therapeutic endoscopy in her unit. She's doing polypectomy, dilatation, band ligation. And what she said, which is very important, when she have a difficult case, she always have the help of the 3 therapeutic endoscopists in Senegal. So I think this is a very perfect example of we need to start. So even we can start, we should not wait to start here. So we can start and then step by step. Ouais.
Bon, peut-être que cette fois-ci, j'aurai le courage de commencer la CPRE,
Okay.
j'espère.
So okay.
En
So
tout cas.
she said she will start ERCP when she go back after this course. So je vais vous téléphoner dans 2 semaines, hein? Okay. Merci.
En tout cas, merci beaucoup.
Merci beaucoup. ماشي هي بعد اول كورس رجعت عملت بوليبكتومي وبليدنج لوحدها. Okay. So, he's saying that elle a dit c'est maintenant après les cholangio, après les cours de cholangio maintenant, il faut commencer. OK? Ouais. S'il vous plaît.
Merci. Bonjour tout le monde. Je suis Mariam Paulel Fall du Sénégal. Je remercie Fuji de nous avoir permis d'assister à ce congrès. Je suis d'accord avec ce que mes collègues ont dit du Sénégal, mais moi, je suis plus intéressée par la formation. Pendant ce congrès, j'ai beaucoup appris et j'ai beaucoup observé. J'ai plutôt observé tout ce qui se passait au niveau des hands-on. Donc ça m'a beaucoup interpellée parce que après les présentations qui ont été faites, j'ai vu qu'il y a des centres de formation en Afrique du Nord, dans le Maghreb,
Ouais.
en Afrique de l'Est,
Ouais.
en Afrique du Sud.
Ouais.
Donc c'est à peu près l'Afrique de l'Ouest qui est à la traîne.
Ouais.
Donc pour moi, la prochaine fois, en venant dans des formations comme ça, ce n'est pas tout simplement de venir et de participer au hands-on, d'essayer d'apprendre de nouvelles techniques, mais c'est plutôt de venir avant, de voir comment ça s'organise, d'aller dans des centres, dans des formations pour voir comment les centres de formation fonctionnent.
I will translate that. This is very, very important. What she's saying that she's also from Senegal, and she said what is interesting here that she has seen the hands-on training, and now she understood that there is training in Morocco, training in South Africa, training in Cairo, so there is different region. What she's interested in that next time with such congress to come early and to see how to organize hands-on training, not only just to watch, but how we are organizing this. Et si je peux dire quelque chose, ça c'est avec plaisir, vraiment. Vous pouvez toujours venir chez nous, rester avec nous 2-3 jours pour voir comment on fait ça. Ça c'est avec plaisir, bien sûr.
D'accord. Donc aller en stage dans des centres de formation, après être formé à faire tout ça, voir comment on prépare, et dans un second temps, retourner dans nos pays, et avec les formateurs, essayer de développer ça chez nous. Une fois qu'on développe ça chez nous, les formateurs vont nous aider parce qu'ils ont leur réalité locale. C'est essayer d'adapter ça à nos réalités parce que les réalités de l'Afrique du Nord ne sont pas les réalités de l'Afrique de l'Ouest. Donc si ces
100% correct.
D'accord. Donc si ces formations viennent chez nous et nous aident à développer, après on pourra mettre en place des centres de formation. Et là,
I will translate. So what she's saying that this is exactly so to do a continuous thing that she need to come, for example, here to see how we are doing this. And then to go back to her country, start doing the training sessions, and then again having the continuous loop. So coming again, see what's advanced. So this is exactly, and this is one. Merci beaucoup. Hein? This is exactly what is needed today. It's not about a show. So what I'm going to do within the next months, we are going to follow up on this. So this is the idea. It's not only, for example, this idea. We planned this. We have 1 year. Rotation till you already in Senegal, you have your own training center.
D'accord. Parce que Fuji est déjà au Sénégal,
Ouais,
donc ils ont déjà implanté Saint-Nando, ils savent comment amener du matériel, donc ce sera facile. Donc quand j'ai vu Monsieur Norihiro,
Ouais.
je me suis dit là au moins on pourra lui parler de nos réalités pour essayer de développer des centres de formation en rapport qui pourront être mis en œuvre dans nos pays. Donc c'était un plaisir de le
I will
voir.
translate this for him. So what she's saying, when she see your presentation, she see that this is what you need to do is really something honorable, that to do real education and real opening of emerging countries, not only to do some show. So this is what she would like to do.
Et puisque tout est en place au Sénégal, pourquoi pas ne pas commencer avec le Sénégal pour l'Afrique de l'Ouest
Ah, okay,
et après
so-
impulser
Okay.
et
She's
puis voir
saying
avec
that-
les autres pays de l'Afrique de
She's
l'Ouest.
saying that everything is ready in Senegal. Why not to start tomorrow morning in Senegal? She's ready to have to be the referral center for training there. Okay.
Merci.
Merci beaucoup. Hein?
Thank you. I'm Dr. Kweyamba. I'm from Uganda. I'm not going to say much because Dr. Francis has said something about training, but I have something, a very serious issue. People are not talking about it, but it is there. The issue of cost of procurement, buying the machines. Like, for example, I've trained in endoscopic ultrasound. Now I'm going to tell my facility I need to add a console. But Fuji forces Africa to buy the most latest 7,000 series or something like that. And that cost hinders in the procurement because the hospital will say, that's very expensive. That is another 1 year, 2 years of not procuring. This training is useless. All my knowledge is gone. And in Africa, you see, you are from Japan. If you go, I don't know about Egypt, but in Uganda, cars are second-hand cars. Everything because they are working. So I don't know why you throw away 6,000 series, you throw away all the series, and you want to force Africa to buy only the latest, very expensive. How can you solve that issue? So that we get these things here. I think Fuji something is not, I think you need to do something about it.
I will leave the John and Saito to comment, but I will give you one thing from my experience, a little bit out of the box. So I went to Japan a lot, and I went to the factory and to the headquarters. One of the reasons, from my knowledge, but they are better than me to comment on this, that big company like Fujifilm would like to keep the quality of their devices. I will just give me one. So this is from their own point of view. We need to have the best quality of devices everywhere, all over the world with the same quality. This is their vision. They will explain it now. But on the other side, I have a very special story in Africa. I think it's unconnected islands, which means in Uganda, for example, we have a lot of patients, good doctors. Companies like this, they have good devices, but they need to sell it. And there is a lot of NGOs in the world now. They are ready to do the link between our countries in Africa and these companies. The only problem that with all the history, people are having some donation from NGOs, buying some scopes, and then just putting the scopes, not using them. This is the history. I have seen this in a lot of countries. I think what this company needs, such company needs, are true projects that, okay, we will need this in this country, and this is the outcomes. For me, from my small experience, having funding for such project is not a big deal. This is from experience from different things, but it needs to be a true project. The problem, what I have seen is only, okay, we need $1 million for some donation. No, it's about really what is the impact of this project. And I will leave them to comment better than me.
Yeah, just, sorry, one more. So Fuji is like, I'm coming from a national referral teaching hospital.
Yes.
If the referral says Fuji can place a whole machine there, like that's what you're saying, the Fuji can bring the machine and put it in there as an NGO, as a fund, and for us we buy soundries and all those things. That's what they can do.
Is it working? Yes. I just wanted to wait until the end, but I will do it right now. If you look at a company like Fuji, at this point, we have an obligation to provide you with technology that really does what it should do. But it's also, if you look at the line extensions we have in time, things are progressing and things are moving forward. That's explanation from a company. It's not about the sales, it's more like what we want to achieve together with you. The other thing, and that's what I heard before, everyone's coming back on cost of goods. And the cost of goods in some markets,